Hey guys, so with this video I'm actually going to be reacting to one of the, I guess classic movies, Dr. Strangelove, and I I really don't know much about this movie. I think it's probably going to be like a dark comedy or something, but other than that I know nothing. I don't even know who acts in it or anything like that. I just know it's a popular movie, and it's on the 1001 Movies to Watch Before You Die list. So I thought I'd go ahead and watch it since I guess I have time now. So let's just get started. It looks like an older movie. You definitely get the feel of these. There's a certain feel to these older movies, like the specs on the screen.
For more than a year, ominous rumors had been privately circulating among high-level Western leaders that the Soviet Union had been at work on what was darkly hinted to be the ultimate weapon, a doomsday device.
So this takes place during the Cold War, I'm assuming? This just reminds me so much of, what is it? God, what was that called? What is this fucking movie called? It was riffed on Mystery Science Theater 3000. Glenn Beck? Did that really just say Glenn Beck? Is that the Glenn Beck I'm thinking of? It was called Skydivers. I believe that was the movie this reminds me of, because they have the planes where they're, fueling and everything like that. I think, anyways. Thank God. I thought it was Glenn Beck, the right-wing asshole, but apparently it's a actor by the same name. Different actor by the same name, thank God. So is that like the, what was it? Not the Enigma machine or whatever you call it. It had, they would send codes and they'd have to change it every few minutes so people couldn't. Oh, never mind then. I guess, well, it's a code to attack plans for them. I don't know, I just thought of that for some reason.
You sure you got today's code?
Yes, sir, it is.
Oh, there's just gotta be something wrong.
So that's still the Enigma machine, right? They would send codes and they would have to change it constantly so people couldn't figure out what the code was. And they would actually have the code on the other end so that they could decode it. I'm probably overthinking this.
The general suggests you call General Ripley, the 843rd Base Commander. Oh.
All communications are dead.
Oh, tell him to do it himself.
Getting the general message of the things you're trying to do yourself.
Here's the attack profile, sir.
Is that how they really do it? Do they just keep like plans locked in a safe in the plane so that they know what plan to do? So this is what they're given. So if this ever is the plan is to go into effect, they each have their own secret rules. Nobody knows about it until the very first time they read it.
General Ripley, sir. As an officer in Her Majesty's Air Force, it is my clear duty, under the present circumstances, to issue the recall code upon my own authority.
Does he work for the English military or whatever? I thought the general there, he's American. So are they just, they work for two organizations on different, because he sounds American and obviously British.
And when they realized there was no possibility of recalling the wing, there will be only one course of action open.
So is this guy on a power trip or something?
Communist subversion and the international communist...
So he is on a power trip. He believes, everybody's a commie or something, so he's gonna start a nuclear war.
Sure you must recall, sir, when Senator Buford made that big hassle about our deterrent lacking credibility? And the idea was for Plan R to be a...
Something I noticed, there's not any music except for the whole, was it the ants go marching on. Or, I don't know if that's actually the song, but that's what I remember.
Unless the message is preceded by the correct three-letter code group prefix.
And apparently the general, or whoever it was, is the only one who knows those 3 codes.
Well, I don't think it's quite fair to condemn the whole program because of single slip-ups.
I want to speak to General Ripper on the telephone personally.
When the single slip-up can result in nuclear war.
Possible and impossible. General Faceman.
Yes, sir.
Are there any Army units?
What in the hell is he eating? Is he eating gum?
But it is necessary now to make a choice, to choose between 2 admittedly regrettable, but nevertheless distinguishable post-war environments. One where you got 20 million people killed, and the other where you got 150 million people killed.
You're talking about mass murder, General, not war.
So this is really just a movie about kind of the debate on nuclear war, the morality of nuclear war, how many casualties will there be, when will it be okay to, I guess, enact nuclear war.
Am I to understand the Russian ambassador is to be admitted entrance to the war room?
That is correct. He is here on my orders.
I mean, if you tried to stop a nuclear war from happening. So they don't provide subtitles automatically. So, like I said, we don't provide Russian subtitles, so I'm wondering if that was because they're wanting us, put us in suspense as to what he actually said.
Mandrake,
Yes, Dad?
have you ever seen a commie drink a glass of water?
Well, yeah, I can't say I have, Jack.
Vodka. That's what they drink, isn't it? Never water.
Well, I believe that's what they drink, Jack, yes.
On no account will a commie ever drink water, and not without good reason.
You look so uncomfortable.
At the same time, our people grumbled for more nylons and washing machines. Our doomsday scheme cost us just a small fraction of what we've been spending on defense in a single year. But the deciding factor...
So, their idea is that they diverted everything from defense and just built the doomsday so that they can spend more money on other things. Everyday conveniences, I guess.
Under the authority
I do remember him.
Director of Weapons
Just from
Research and
glimpse posters and
commissioned
stills and stuff like that.
study of this.
No, Mandrake. I happen to believe in a life after this one. I know I'll have to answer what I've done. I think I can.
Yes.
So, is he having an idea that maybe he's wrong or what? Or he knows exactly what he's doing? He's not completely insane.
Jack, and you know what I'm hoping, Jack? I'm hoping you're going to give me the code, boy. That's what I'm hoping. And, you're going to have a little wash and brush up, are you? What a good idea. Always did wonders for a man.
He's going to kill himself.
Wash and brush up, water on the back of the neck, and makes you feel marvelous. That's what we need, Jack. Water on the back of the neck and the code. Now, supposing I play a little guessing game with you, Jack, boy. I'll try and guess what the code is.
Exactly. I know exactly what's going to happen. He's wanting a good code, prevent that from happening, well, kill himself. And, of course, he's talked about, asked about torturing and, doesn't think he'd be standing up to the torturer, so just kills himself.
Distance 50 miles. Continue evasive action.
It's just giving me Godzilla vibes, because I just remember when they're tracking Godzilla And of course, like Tremors. You know, it's another instance of them tracking just these creatures. You can tell this is obviously like green screen because just the look of it, and of course there's really nothing, you know, there's no real smoke or anything like that, no damage or anything. God, it's bad effects. I keep saying bad effects, but I'm going by what I know now in this day and age, not necessarily what was available back then. So give me some leeway.
Put your hands over your head.
What the
Please
devil do you
don't
think
kill
you're
him.
doing shooting away, Nucky, if you end up wearing the uniform of a bloody toilet attendant?
Okay, go ahead. Try and get the President of the United States on the phone.
If he's able to actually stop this, he'd probably be the hero of the series. Because even he, you know, even when, you know, the whatever, the colonel or general, I don't even know, remember what he was, but even if he ends up, even when he's shown himself to be kind of crazy, he was willing to stand up to him, so.
Shoot it off! Shoot with a gun!
So he says he has the code, but all the radio equipment they've established is shot. So what's gonna happen? I mean, he's not being able to actually get through to it unless it's like that. It's it's not the normal channel. It's a special channel that they're actually able to get through to give them the code to stop this.
The fourth may only be damaged.
What? Who does he remind me of? Just the way he acts. He reminds me of someone, and I just can't remember who it is. Why do I get the picture of this guy just falling, you know, saddling this missile as it falls to the ground?
Hey, what about Major Kong?
I was right. To be fair, I think I probably saw this on like a clip on YouTube somewhere, so that's probably where I remember it from. But it's still funny as hell. Sorry. Obviously, it actually went through. It actually happened.
You mean people could actually stay down there for 100 years?
It would not be difficult, mein Führer. Nuclear reactors could...
Mein Führer.
I'm sorry. Of course, it would be absolutely vital that our top government and military men be included to foster and impart the required principles of leadership and tradition.
So obviously he's obviously a
Breed
Nazi.
prodigiously, eh? But with the proper breeding techniques and a ratio of, say, 10 females to each male, I would guess that they could then work their way back to the present gross national product within, say, 20 years.
I'm guessing that I'd probably be dead because there's no way in hell I'm having sex with a dude. Once again, a juxtaposition of this really happy music with this tragic moment. Okay, so that was Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I mean, I don't think I should... I won't say I'm necessarily not surprised by the ending, since the title is literally How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. So I'm assuming that obviously that was kind of hinting at the ending of them learning to love the bomb, because you know, they were talking about how they were obviously excited about possibly having, you know, 10 women to every man, you know, when they went down to the coal mines and all that. So that's kind of, I think that's probably what I was referring to. But, and of course, like the very beginning, it kind of had a disclaimer about how this is just, you know, I wouldn't say it's just, you know, they said it's like just fictional, and that the Air Force ensures that this won't actually happen. So once again, kind of hinting to the ending not being as happy as most movie endings are. So as for the movie itself, you know, it's okay. This is, I think, just another instance of it's not necessarily my cup of tea. Peter Sellers, of course, was great in it. I did enjoy him. So let's just go on into some trivia. See if this can shed light on any of the, anything in the movie. Peter Sellers was paid $1 million, 55% of the film's budget. Holy fuck. Yeah, I wish I could get paid $1 million for one movie. Stanley Kubrick frequently quipped, "I got 3 for the price of 6." While shooting area footage over Greenland, the second unit camera crew accidentally filmed a secret U.S. military base. Their plane was forced down and the crew was suspected of being Soviet spies. That would be ironic. The film led to actual changes in policy to ensure that the events depicted could never really occur in real life. Well, at least that's something beneficial from this movie. Peter Sellers improvised most of his lines, and one of the most significant is in the final scene where Sellers, as Dr. Strangelove, exclaimed, "Mein Führer, I can walk." According to Kubrick, Peter said he couldn't promise to do the same thing twice. He couldn't do anything more than 2-3 times. So the day we did the sequence, I had 6 cameras lined up, and he came in and nobody knew what he was going to do, himself included. I did not know he played Dr. Strangelove. Obviously, kind of really shows us his acting ability, because I couldn't distinguish between the 2 characters he plays. As research, Stanley Kubrick read nearly 50 books about nuclear war. I really do like when, you know, an actor or a director or just anybody involved in movies really do the research to really give a as realistic a portrayal as possible. I really do enjoy that. There were a great deal of editing, cutaway shots in the sequence where Dr. Strangelove gets carried away in the war room and his out-of-control right hand keeps Nazi salutes and trying to strangle him, meaning to cover up the cast around him, cracking up with laughter. Despite this, Peter Boll, playing Soviet Ambassador De Sadatsky, can be glimpsed trying to suppress his actor. See, that's just the thing about this movie. Maybe it's just, you know, the comedies I grew up with, but this wasn't really more comedic for me. Maybe, you know, obviously he was so kind of ridiculous that he kind of is supposed to be a parody, but I just like most of the movie, it just isn't really, I guess, funny to me. Yeah. In the early 1960s, the B-52 was cutting edge technology. Access to it was a matter of national security. The Pentagon refused to lend any support to the film after they read the script. Set designers reconstructed the B-52 bomber's cockpit from a single photograph that appears in a British flying magazine. When some British Air Force personnel were invited to view the movie's B-52 cockpit, they said it was a perfect copy. Stanley Kubrick feared that Ken Adams' production design team had used legal methods and could be investigated by the FBI. One interesting thing is how many problems they had with the movie just based on, you know, the military aspects of the movie. I thought it was kind of interesting. Peter Sellers was also cast as Moss CJ King Kong, but he had trouble developing Texas accent. When Sellers broke his ankle, Stanley Kubrick decided to cast another actor who naturally fit the role. John Wayne never responded. Bonanza star Dan Blocker declined the role because of the script's progressive political content. Kubrick cast Slim Pickens because of his work on One-Eyed Jacks. Pickens was not told that the movie was a comedy and was only shown the script from scenes he was in. As a result, Pickens played the role straight. James Earl Jones initially thought Slim Pickens was staying in character off camera until being told he wasn't putting on the character. That's the way he always talked. I did not know James Earl Jones was in this. Darth Vader is in Doctor Strangelove. In one version of the script, aliens from outer space observed all the action. Peter Sellers was the first actor to be nominated for a single Academy Award, Best Actor, for a film in which he portrayed 3 different characters in the same film. What characters does he portray? I know he portrayed, obviously, the one where he actually looked like himself, and Doctor Strangelove. Which other one was he playing? See, that's really kind of shows you how good the actor is, because you can't tell the difference between different roles. The film debut of James Earl Jones. Stanley Kubrick cast him after seeing him in a production of William Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice, in which George C. Scott also appeared. General Ripper's paranoia about water fluoridation being a communist plot is based on a conspiracy theory circulated by the extreme right-wing John Birch Society in the 1950s and 1960s. The organization was founded in 1958, was quite influential in conservative politics at the time, and the fluoridation is a communist plot theory took hold in many rural areas of the U.S., with some small towns going so far as to not only ban fluoridation of water, but to pass ordinances requiring the arrest and jailing of anyone who advocated it. Based on a novel Red Alert by Peter George, and originally conceived as a tense thriller about the possibility of accidental nuclear war, Stanley Kubrick was working on the script when he realized that many scenes he had written were actually quite funny. He then thought, he then brought in Terry Southern to turn the story to a satire. Among the changes, the plan to regenerate the human race from the people sheltered in mine shafts in this parody of Nelson Rockefeller, Edward Teller, Herman Kahn, and Chester E. Holyfield's 1961 plan to spend millions of dollars on a nationwide network of concrete-lined underground fallout shelters capable of holding millions of people. The proposed fallout shelter network has similarities in contrast to that of the very real and robust Swiss civil service, Swiss civil defense network. Switzerland has an overcapacity of nuclear fallout shelters for the country's population size, and by law, new homes must still be built with a fallout shelter. The United States did that. It would violate the spirit of MAD and destabilize the situation, because the U.S. could launch a first strike and be safe against a retaliatory second strike. Character President Merklin Muffley, Peter Sellers. Was that the other character he played? Because I did not know. You know, he's so you could not tell at all. Yeah, he was patterned after Adlai Stevenson too. I've heard of him, who lost to presidential election, and Dwight D. Eisenhower before becoming America's ambassador to the United Nations, which was his position at the time this film was made. Adlai Stevenson. It's obviously from the Golden Girls episode, where she talks about how there were I believe it was when she talks about the 4 losers on Mount Rushmore in her hometown of what was it called again? Strangelove. Adlai Stevenson, you know, he's on there twice because he lost twice. Anyways. Score from the B-52 scenes is mostly Johnny Hallelujah, traditional Irish anti-war song that told the story of a broken, heavily mutilated soldier coming back from war. The last lines are, they're rolling out the guns again, but they'll never take my sons again. It's also the melody of the American Civil War song, When Johnny Comes Marching Home. That's where I knew it from. It's described the celebrations that will happen when the soldiers return from war. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies, they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Of course, I keep remembering it's like the children's version when they talk about the ants go marching home or whatever it is. Ending in the novel is similar to the novel in the movie Failsafe. Author Peter George detested the conversion of his book to a satire, but wrote the time novelization of the film anyways. Some of the Air Force stock footage of mid-air refueling seen in opening credit sequence also appears on the film, including Santa Claus Conquers the Martian. I can't help but laugh at that. Okay, so that was Dr. Strangelove. I've kind of already said what my thoughts on the film were. One thing, you know, I like about watching these films, I like going in completely like blind. It really allows me to kind of try to figure out what exactly the movie's trying to tell me, what it's about. It makes it really fun to watch the movie. Makes it a lot more interesting. But yeah. So those are my thoughts on this movie so far. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to get notifications for all the different videos I'll be doing. I'll be doing quite a bit. I'm trying to, you know, complete the 1001 movies to watch before you die list. Before I die. But yeah, other than that, you guys have a nice night. Stay safe out there. I'm going to talk to you later. Bye.